Let's see. All right. Hey, it's September. I could sing the Earth, Wind, and Fire song that comes to my mind, but I don't want to get blocked. How y'all doing out there? It is Talk on Tuesday, and we're back live. Did you miss us? Did you miss me and the coach? Well, we have a coach, another coach, and a team, and a few other things. So it's exciting, exciting. What did you guys do over the Labor Day weekend? I'd love to hear what you had going on. That'd be great. And I can't believe we are almost through with 2023. I mean, September. I mean, I've already seen Halloween costumes and candy out already. Halloween, and in some spaces, I've seen Christmas. So it's a little people are already gearing up for the end of the year. I am still enjoying a little bit of summer. It's a little bit there. But we're coming and we're here. It's me, Coach Tony, and some wonderful special guests coming up. Here we go. Woo-hoo. We'll try that again. It is Interludes Extra presents Talk on Tuesday, where we highlight people of color in spaces of television, film, and sports. And I'm so grateful that you guys are joining myself and the coach. I'm waiting for the coach to come on, but he is on his way and getting things together. And guys, here on Talk on Tuesday, our affiliate sponsor today is Legal Shield. If you need help with setting up a will, a trust, or your own business with legal representation, please go ahead and get hooked up with Legal Shield today. You can text the word legal to 347-652-0243 and go ahead and get some protection today. Get a will today, because a lot of people I know unfortunately haven't been able to do that. And of course, if you're a fan of what you've been seeing on the Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesday, and you'd like to become a member of our Interludes podcasting platform, become a fan of Interludes platform, join us on Patreon. And I'll go ahead and ask Mr. Springer to place it in a chat. And go ahead and become a fan and a member of the podcasting community, which is Interludes, which is growing. It was growing on Clubhouse, and then all of a sudden Clubhouse made some updates. I'll get into that a little bit later. That was a little nutty. Oh my goodness. But I wanted to find out what you all did for, because it's been a solid 2 weeks since I've seen many of you. If you guys can give me a shout in the chat, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you, my goodness. And here's the thing. Everyone marks the start of summer with Memorial Day weekend, and then everyone marks the end of summer with Labor Day weekend. Well, the calendar properly starts summer somewhere toward the middle or the end of June, which is like June 20th, 21st. And then the very end of summer is I want to say September 20th, 21st, and then you go into fall. But then kids are in school before, and summer is still going, and that's how that works. Oh my goodness. Let me see who is here, who's giving us a shout here, because we have wonderful special guests that are coming on. And I see Mr. Harrison is here. How are you, King Eric? Oh my goodness. The African Royal. Hello. Good to see you. I see Queen Lakeisha's there. Lakeisha, of the Lakeisha Mosley. So just excited to see you guys. And of course, thank you so very much, Mr. Springer, for going ahead and saying becoming a member of our Interludes podcasting community. With me doing this for the last 3 years, we've been celebrating our 3-year anniversary since late June. It's been fun. It has been so much fun. And I see some folks are joining us from Facebook. I really wish Facebook would get smart and let me know who is watching, because I'm looking at it going, okay, who is that? You'll have to tell me in the chat who you are, because it just says Facebook user. It's so discriminatory. It's not cool. It is so not cool. Well, I'm going to let you guys know what I did over the holiday and then also this past weekend. Movies have been coming out. I did not get to the movie theater to see the latest, I want to say, Equalizer 3. That's starring Denzel Washington. I do plan to check that out, and I'll let you guys know how that film is when I come back next week. But it is the third film that Antoine Fuqua as well as Denzel Washington have done together, and it's been exciting. Oh my goodness. Thank you so very much. King B, a talented filmmaker out of Chicago. Good to see you, sir. And I see Rebecca from Jersey is in the building. How you doing, girl? Good to see you. And of course, thank you so very much, Mr. Springer, for going ahead and put that in the chat, letting us know that we have our 3rd-year anniversary and we're still celebrating, having a good old time. I mean, what are we about to do? What are we going to do? My uncle over the Labor Day weekend turned not one, not two, but 75 years young. Woohoo! That's right. And my cousins, the siblings all got together and got this wonderful celebration going for my uncle. I'm so proud. They made me proud to be a part of the family. Now, I have to say, that's my uncle. He does not look his age. He looks like you just reverse the numbers, maybe 57, maybe 47, but he doesn't look 75. My uncle looks great. He's a former with our armed services. He's retired, and just, I want to say, I've never heard so many good things being said about one person. Extremely dependable. People say they can call him in the middle of the night and he'll drop everything and help you out. If I was to think of someone that is extremely loving and giving, and that's my Uncle Freddie. And I have to say, thank you so very much, Kevin. 75 years. He turned 75 on September 5th. But in Omaha, Nebraska, we celebrated his birthday, and pictures were gotten. I ended up doing some kind of long slideshow, but those are the kids and a few of my first cousins, and there's my uncle in the dead center. Who is that? That's Felicia, Bo, my cousin Tony, Rodney. There's my cousin Derek, and then who is this? Carrie, and the very youngest, that's Freddie Jr. And then in the yellow is Drika. She likes to be called Philly in these streets. I don't know what Philly is about. She's not from Philly. She's from Omaha. I have no idea the title that some of my family members like to do, but we had a blast, and that's me to the side with my uncle. And they had a lot of these wonderful, I want to call it handcrafted, that were made frames, and the frames said, I love you to the moon and back. He's a great papa. And they had pictures of him. He's there. That's my uncle holding his grandchild, which is, I believe, yes, the latest grandchild is a Gigi. And good gracious, she warms my heart, melts my heart every time I see her. Now, over this past weekend, as I was here for a little bit, I decided to make my way to Wisconsin to the Abbey Resort. And that is, I went there with my church. Our church had a Midwest all women's retreat called Sacred. I had a really good time there. And myself and my friend and filmmaking, she's brilliant. Carla, she's from Jersey. I love her. We got a chance to connect and be there and really enjoy some of the scenery. And then, of course, go to the classes and get, retreat. I saw a spa, but we didn't have time for the spa, child. We just had a good time learning, things about God, how we are sacred in in the Lord, all that good gooey stuff. I have been invited to, I want to say the East Coast version of the women's retreat. I think it's happening in the Poconos. I have not had a chance to attend it. I think I might have only gone once, but I think no. I haven't gone. And one of the people that was a major, I want to call it champion for the women's retreat, her name is Yolanda Guzman. And I have to just uh, call out her name. She unfortunately had a health crisis earlier this weekend, and so myself and many of the folks that know her, we're praying for her because she is a champion for the woman's relationship with God. I love Yolanda, and so she would be happy to know that yes, I took your advice. I went to the women's retreat, not in the Poconos, but in Wisconsin. So that's me. That's me and Carla having a good time. I was like, well, let's do a silly picture. So we did a silly face like that. So I just had a good time. Great music, some of the best music. I like to brag on our Chicago ministry, just having it locked down with putting the lyrics up so all of us could sing on key, off key, every kind of key, just have a good old time. And yes, and thank you so much, Kevin. He's keeping up with it. That's right. Went to the all women's retreat in Wisconsin. So, and definitely myself and many of us that are friends with Yolanda in our Brooklyn ministry, we're praying for her for full recovery. And she was a champion for the women's retreat, definitely on the East Coast. So she would be happy to know. I want to tell you all about it as soon as you wake up and heal. When you heal and then you wake up, because I'm already praising God for the victory in your health. So I'm just going to go ahead. So if you could let me know what you did over the weekend, especially what you did. Did you see Equalizer 3? Or you didn't care? Denzel Washington has shot up enough people in 9 seconds. You don't really care anymore. Did you watch currently right now? I shouldn't say anything. The MTV Music Awards are happening. I know no one. They have a whole K-pop category, and I could name none of those children in that category. I feel old, but I'm okay. It's okay. And believe Nicki Minaj is hosting it, but I'll watch the rerun because I know it's just like the BET Awards. They'll rerun it over and over and over again, and it's hilarious. But I love it. I love it. I love it. And I thank you guys for being here. I was gonna do a story on Puff Daddy returning I want to call it the publishing rights back to his the artists that were signed to Bad Boy. I'm just mentioning it in passing because I feel like this is long overdue, but is it too late? So I'm gonna ask the chat if you guys are a fan of P. Diddy and a fan of all of the artists for Bad Boy. That's Mates, The Lox, Biggie Smalls, Faith Evans. It's a laundry list. Is it too late for Puffy to return the publishing rights back to the artist? Because I feel like it is, but I just would love to hear your feedback in the chat. So I'm just going to ask, and I'm going to go ahead. I see our boy is here, and the coach is here. So, and African Royal said, I need to see paperwork on that. I do too. I don't, there's been some horrible contentions with Puff and a bunch of other folks for a long time. I think him and Mary J. Blige didn't work together for like a good over a decade. It's not good when you hold on to publishing this long. And so he's releasing it. They said he could have easily made about 9 figures, but I'm grateful that this is happening. I just kind of feel like it's happening a little late. That's all. And thank you so much for that question for the thing. Thank you. African Royal says that he's performing. I believe he is. I don't want to see him perform. I want to see him give the publishing back to his artists. Okay, enough of that. That's me cracking jokes right there. All right, well, it's time for the coach. I see he's in the building. It's time for the coach. Let's go. Let's go.
Man, hey Val, you know I'm gonna ride or die for you. When you need me, I'm on the road. I'm out.
Of course, of course, of
You
course.
that's how true family do. You need true family 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
Exactly, exactly. And that's my uncle. That's my Uncle Freddie. People could pick up the phone and call him, and he would be there. That song, that what is that song from Diana
Freddie
Ross?
Day, Freddie, da, 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 da.
I
Yeah,
don't know about that song.
like,
Hey, hey, you
hey,
sing it.
hey,
Such
hey,
an old
Curtis
song.
Mayfield, how
So
you
yeah,
doing
so
tonight, Val Voice?
I'm I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was getting over a cold. I don't know what happened. My sinuses were draining. One of my friends told me maybe it's your body detox, and this is a weird detox. So I got 32 ounces of water in here.
Right?
I got some tea over there. I got me some soup on the stove,
Man,
and
you
we're
got
doing
everything.
everything we
I mean,
can.
you,
I got
you,
everything. I got everything because I'm Val the Voice. I can't lose this voice to no
right,
little
hey, you
cold
can't lose
demon.
that. Hey, you been moving around like you was Tom Joyner's the new fly job.
I've been moving around since who?
Tom Joyner, the fly job. Remember Tom Joyner?
Oh yes, I used to love the it's the Tom Joyner
Tom Joyner,
morning show.
morning show. There you go. Yeah, he was a fly job. I tell you, it's been crazy because things have been just nuts. You've been on the go. I mean, you've been from the West Coast to the East Coast to the South, Val.
Yeah. And here's the thing: I haven't been to the West Coast yet. That's actually next month, but I have to say, traveling a little bit, just going to Wisconsin, which is not that far away from where I am in Chicago. That retreat to me was well needed
Good.
because I just needed that break and that respite. There was even a class on sacred rest, like God
Okay.
rested, and you should too.
I think, and I'm not sure. Springer may have to put it in a thing. I think that I need a golf retreat, just a weekend of just golf.
Oh.
Just go have fun, hit the ball, play a lot of golf, not worry about things, smoke a good cigars, kick back, relax, talk to my. But I think I need a golf retreat, Val Voice.
Okay. Okay. And here's the thing, once you do this retreat, would it be, all day golfing? You do the whole 27, 28 holes and then relax with, I don't know, like cognac and a cigar. I don't know. What are you thinking?
We talking about not 20. We talking about 36 holes of golfing. We talking
Oh,
about
36.
yeah. We talking about like every day. Get up, go get them clubs. Let's get on the course. And I'm just like you. I think golf, and then you finish up. And then, of course, you're out there playing with your guys, and you come back, relax, and relaxation, and kick back and just enjoy your buddies, and go talk about old stories, a couple of lies, you know how that go, and just have some fun, And I need one of those, but I stay so busy
I
that I
know.
don't get a chance to, and to see that you just went on a retreat that makes me feel good because I felt like I was on that retreat with you.
Oh, wonderful. And Eric wants to know, you can golf, bruh?
Hey, Eric, I'm shooting right now in the mid 80s, man. What you got? What you talking about? Hey, I keep my clubs in the trunk like I keep a ball in basketball. So I can either
Mhm.
get you on the court, I can put you on the green. Which one you want, Eric? Which one you want?
Well, Eric is saying, have to see it to believe it. He's laughing at you. I don't understand that. And then, of course, regarding the rest class, African Royal says, yes, that's a much needed class to rest, to learn how to rest. That's
Now,
what I'm
now, now
talking about.
Val, you got to explain that to me. So you go to this retreat, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You got everything that you need. You got your friends, and you're there to meditation and whatever. So you're learning how to rest. So what did you learn? What was the overall skill set to learn how to rest? Because I think I need that.
Well, number one, it's biblical, so that's the fun thing. If God rested, how much more do you need to rest? Like
Okay.
he made things and it was good, all these things in Genesis. But then, scheduling rest, like taking your cell phone and literally putting a block on your time and don't take calls and literally allow your brain to just settle down and not do anything and just And because I feel like with our world just pop, 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 you get a ding here, a thing there. There's social media, there's 24-hour cycle, news, sports, whatever you could think of. ESPN is 24 hours. It's
Right.
24 ESPN. It's a matter of literally either muting or shutting those things down and off so that you can just kind of get a nice respite. And it's okay to do so and to let others know that you're doing so, because some people say, well, you're weak for saying that you need rest, or you're
Oh
weak
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for
That's
nap in
me.
the middle of the day.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say no names because they may be up on here watching. Because I'm always calling a couple of my boys. What you mean you taking a nap in the middle of the afternoon?
Mhm.
I'm trying to get in touch with you. I mean,
Right,
I
right.
had the phone. I was taking a nap. A nap. And speaking of naps,
Mhm.
if I'm gonna get knocked out, I must send a super duper 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 shout out to not one Val, but both my granddaughters. To the new granddaughter on here, Mrs. Olivia Nicole. She's
Mhm.
right at 6 months old. I'm about to send you a new picture you haven't seen her. She's a handful. And of course, my shadow, as they call my shadow, is none other than Skylar. And Skylar is my granddaughter. She's 6 years old, and
Mhm.
she's working on her basketball game right now, and I'm loving it.
Wonderful. Well, speaking of young ladies doing wonderful in sports, please tell me about these 3 phenomenal individuals that we're looking at on the screen.
Oh,
Mhm.
Val, let me tell you something. So July has been a phenomenal, actually not even July, but just the last 30 days. So I would say
Mhm.
mid-August, late July to now has been a phenomenal run for just Black women in sports.
Mhm.
You're talking about none other than a young lady to the left right there, you know, and Shakari Richardson. She was
Mhm.
suspended. Some people that may or may not know for, as they call, a doping incident right before the Tokyo Games a
Right.
couple of years ago, and she came back in Budapest this year a few weeks ago. And the girl, what they say, the old school language, Val, pick him up and put him down. Remember
Pretty
that?
much.
She can pick him up, and put him down. Let me tell you something.
Right.
She looked like she was floating on top of the track because he
Wonderful.
was shooting. So she came back to say, hey, listen, there was an incident, small incident. Matter of fact, where I was smoking weed, it was legal, but unfortunately, it was still in my system when I went to Tokyo. So she came back to prove herself. She ran a 10.0 in the world championship game at Budapest in the 100. Then she backed
Yay.
it up and beat none other than my girl Sharika Jackson, who ran a 10.75. So, I mean, Val, this girl is serious. And then she turned around after she won the 100, Val, and then they won the 4x4 100 relay. So, U.S. women, they back. In the Olympics is in 2 years, and I think these young women are going to be ready. That ain't even 2 years. It's next year, 24, Paris.
Yeah, Paris. And so that's Simone Biles in the center. And then, of course, over the weekend, we had Coco Golf, who I
Oh, come
saw. I'm
Hey,
just, yeah,
oh,
she,
come
I saw a video of her. They showed her at the US Open back, I want to say in 2014 when she was much younger.
Hey,
And I think they said, oh, she's going to be the next Serena. She says, no, I'm not going to, if I do half of what Serena has done,
yes,
it would be phenomenal. But it was wonderful to hear her, number one, play homage, but she's going to be the next Coco Golf.
man,
And that's what this
know.
show is going to be about. Women representation matters. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Val, let me tell you something. Coco, and I'm hoping I put great homage on this because what I'm about to say. So one of the young ladies that I represent has been on our show,
Mhm.
Michaela Chen-Yuri. That's a 13-year-old, now 14, Colorado young lady I represent in my Rise Sports Marketing. Uh, it was at the same age that Coco was a few years ago when she saw none other than who, Val? Serena Williams.
Right.
Now, fast forward, Coco's at the US Open kicking in the doors, right? So I'm
Mhm.
hoping, and I'm telling you guys listening to this show, if you don't know who my new client is Malika Chinyere, you must take a look. 14-year-old girl, Colorado, And Val, I didn't even tell you, by the way, they are putting her in the Colorado Hall of Fame for the U.S.
Wow.
Tennis Association at 14 years old. So her best player, her favorite player, is Coco Gauff. So Coco did her thing this weekend, shutting down. She scared me a little bit, though, Val. She lost that first set, 6-6, 2, 6-3, but she settled down. I think it was more nerves than anything.
Mhm.
And speaking of nerves, she said her dad can't stomach watching her play. So every match that she plays in, he runs around Flushing around the entire campus of the U.S. Open,
Mhm.
except
Right.
for the championship game. He sit there and watched her play, and obviously she won. And by the way, New Balance is loving her right now, Val, because she's got a brand new shoe deal and merch deal, not with Nike, not with Adidas, but with New Balance.
Wonderful. Now, anyone like what we just mentioned, from either Coco to Simone to Sha'Carri Richardson, they have, what it takes is for someone to bring them through, and it takes a great coach. Fisk University made history in 2022 when they
Yes.
hired this young woman to be the not only the athletic director but also the gymnastics coach there. If you go ahead and introduce our guest for today, who has other guests with her, go ahead, Coach.
Val, let me tell you something. I might have to get a tattoo on my arm
Here we go.
because this young lady's accolades is so freaking long. I can't even care. I think I'm probably going to give Coach Tarver the best, introduction she's had. But I'm talking about a young lady. Even though you and I are diehard Big Ten people, right? We going to represent that. But this is a young lady from the FCC, from the past NCAA football national championships. I know she's going to say something about that, Georgia Bulldogs. And this young lady comes from Athens. Now, Val, I've been down to Athens. It's one stoplight, one train track, and a Walmart, right? So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
but from Athens, Georgia. By the way, Fisk University and the things she is doing right now, I don't want to spoil her fun. I want to let her tell you guys all about the exciting things that happen at Fisk University. Of course, Fisk is dear to my heart as well. Let's bring on none other than my girl, Coach Corrine Tarver.
Yeah, by the way of Mount Vernon, New York, as I found early
Hey,
on.
money,
Here
money,
she
money, money
is.
in my bird. Hey, I better put on some heavy
Yay.
D. I better put some heavy D on, Coach.
Yes, yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy.
How you doing tonight?
I am wonderful. How are you?
Man, I'm absolutely excellent. My co-host right there, Val the Voice. And you guys, again, this is Coach Corrine Tarver. If you're not listening, we're on Interludes, Talk on Tuesday. Push that subscribe button. One of the hottest shows right now that's coming up. And Coach, the funny part about it is that, gymnastics, right? We always talk about basketball and football because those are the two, quote unquote, NCAA money-making machines for a school. But you've come in to, my background, because I spent 9 years at Fisk in that wonderfully hot gym, Henderson Gym, coaching basketball. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Crawford. She's in there doing her things right now. But you decided to come, from the University of Pennsylvania and do some big things. Why did you choose this school at Fisk to bring your talents?
Honestly, they kind of chose me. So they actually contacted me based upon some consultants that they had when they were looking at the sport. And, I kind of fit the bill for two different things. I was coaching, obviously, on a collegiate level, but I also was athletic administration for 10 years. So I kind of, checked every box, I guess, all the little boxes that they had. So it was not so much that I was, quote unquote, chose Fisk as much as we chose each other, I guess is a better way to say it.
Okay. Well, you see, I'm representing tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we gotta get you a Fisk Gymnastic shirt. I mean, you need that's like, we need a Fisk Gymnastic t-shirt, not that, not the old one.
And I snuck out, last year I snuck out, didn't get a chance to catch you, but I did sneak out to the event that you did in Lebanon. So, and I wanted to see Morgan, and I was very happy. But Val, we're going to backtrack because Coach is playing her status down. Listen to this, Val. She is like the national champs on the Georgia Bulldogs, 1987, 1989. She's not only that, she's a 9-time SEC national team holder. She's also, I think, Coach, if I'm right, on that national USA team, you was there with Dominique Dawes, weren't you?
Dominique would have been a junior when I was on the team.
Okay, but Julie said she was just like a pipsqueak at that time. I get you, though.
But I'm not even sure she was on the team quite yet, but she was right around there as a junior.
Oh, that's awesome. For those that don't know Dominique Dawes, you got to do some homework. And and Coach, the good thing about it is that you get the Fisk, and we get an opportunity at a HBCU to put together a gymnastics team, right? And I like what you did because I know about the country and the game of recruiting. I've been in many homes, talked to many parents, but your tactics of, do you want to go here or do you want to make history? How did you come up with that?
Honestly, it just there was no special magic to it. It's just, I was, that word was being thrown around a lot. We're going to make history, first NCAA team, first doing this. And so then one of the first athletes I talked to, I said, you know what, every single woman on this team, their name will go down in history. Yes. Your name will be associated with the very first HBCU ever. Do you want to be a part of history? Do you want to be a part of that? Do you want your name to go down in history?
And speaking of that, we have not one, not two, but 3 young ladies from your phenomenal team, a gymnastics team there at Fisk. Let's go ahead and bring them on. Naima Muhammad, Morgan
Hello,
Price,
Naima.
And also Jordan Cromari.
Jordan.
All right, ladies. How are you all doing?
Miss Price. And I need to get an autograph from all you guys. So, I'm here in Nashville. Val's at home in Chicago, and I'll be there this weekend. I'm a Chicago native. But you young women do not know how proud I am of you. For one, Val, Fisk University, as a small HBCU, is a powerhouse in its name, and it sits about 2.5, 3 miles right outside of downtown Nashville. So the way the campus is designed, you physically got a backdrop from the Henderson Gym into downtown Nashville is awesome. So looking at you 3, Morgan, you are a 5-star recruit and getting ready to go to University of Arkansas, and all of a sudden Coach Tarver shows up at your doorstep. What made that? Because this, she's an SEC girl too. And then you wanted to just say, I'm not going to go that route, Coach. I got enough faith in you. I'm going to go to Fisk. What made that decision for you, More?
Yeah, well, I've done gymnastics since I was 2 years old, and I've always wanted to go to an HBCU, and obviously, until now, I didn't have the opportunity, so that's why I wanted to go to an SEC school. But then as soon as I figured out that Fisk was starting with the first ever HBCU program, I knew that I wanted to be a part of the team, so I just reached out to Coach Tarver, and now I'm here.
Oh, that's all. And of course, Jordan, you down there with my favorite rapper in Scarface, them ghetto boys down there in the 5th Ward down in Houston, and you want to come across the country. What made you want to come and be a part of this team?
So actually, I think it was maybe 2021 November around Thanksgiving. My uncle is on the board of trustees here.
Okay.
So he was asking me where I wanted to go to school. I wasn't committed yet for gymnastics anywhere. I was talking to a lot of different schools at the time, and he was just like, why don't you go to HBCU? Fisk will be great. It's a great school. And I was like, no, HBCUs have a gymnastics team. Like, that's never been an option for any of us, especially us brown girls. It's never been an option for us, and I've always wanted to go to one. So he ended up making that happen. Well, not making it happen, but talking to people who can make it happen. And a team was announced, I want to say in maybe February. So by that time, I was already committed to a PWI, and I had to decommit. So that was, was a tough decision for me, trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But at the end of the day, I felt like this was an opportunity that I couldn't turn down, and God gave it to us for a reason. So I had to go with it.
Hey, your teammates are very proud of you, and I know Coach Tarver is. And then my girl Namaya, you're the veteran on this team, the older one. And I just got a question from you. You say that this is everything that I wanted, and it wasn't until you sit up and watch Beyonce at Coachella. What? How did Beyonce at Coachella get you to Fisk? Tell me how that works out.
Please.
So I have always wanted to go to the HBCU, and that was because I watched the Beyonce Coachella homecoming, how she had like the band and everyone performing. My older sister and my older brother went to HBCUs, but they didn't have gymnastics, so I did decide to just go to another school and stick it out there. I actually transferred from that school and went to a different school after that. And I heard about Fisk on Instagram. One of my teammates at the time showed it to me, and she was basically convincing me to go to Fisk and look into it. And I was very hesitant about it until I saw all of the other girls get recruited. One of my former teammates, Brianna, she got recruited, and I was on a team with her briefly, so that kind of got me interested. I saw that Morgan had gotten rid of Arkansas to come onto the team, and I was like, okay, that's why would a 5-star recruit turn down an SEC school for an HBCU I've never heard of? So that got me interested, and then talking to the coaches really made me want to come to Fisk, and it's the first HBCU gymnastics team, so I decided to just take the opportunity for what it was.
Oh man, that's awesome. And Coach Tarver, well, what do you have to say about these three young women?
All three of them are amazing. It was a lot of interesting times last year trying to start a program in 4 months and putting everybody, like, just a whole group of 15 girls thrown in together, all, brand new, trying to get, everything we needed, because to be honest with you, Fisk didn't know what they were getting into. They got us, and they didn't know what they got into when they got me, because I was like, if I do this, I'm not going to do it halfway. We can't be the first HBCU ever and just skate by. We can't just, go to little teeny tiny places. I'm like, if I do this, I'm going to do it right. And so I threw them into the deep end. Our first meet was in Las Vegas. Naima was the first ever gymnast to compete for an HBCU gymnastics team. So she was the first Lord ever. So she will always go down in history as that. That's something she will be able to tell her grandkids and great grandkids. And, when they play Trivia Pursuit and ask who was the first HBCU gymnast ever, say her name. So I love that fact. Jordan, it's funny because when they added the team and I found out how the team got added, I'm like, well, why is she not coming here? I was like, I need to find her. So I called her uncle. I'm like, you need to get me in touch with this kid because I need to become the Fisk. How can we start a program based upon a conversation with your niece, and your niece is not here? And so, that was that, trying to convince her and her parents to take that chance. And then Morgan, when she contacted me and I, took a look at her gymnastics, I went, there is no way this kid is going to come here. We're just teeny tiny school. And at the time I didn't know her connection to Tennessee. I didn't know that she had been born basically in Lebanon and her family was here. So then once that happened, I found that out. I thought, okay, I've got to convince this kid that she wants to come home, that she wants to be near her family. And, I kind of, like you said, I said, listen, Morgan, you can be a part of history and you can live near your family. And maybe we can convince your mom to move back, which we're still working on that.
Right, still working on that.
Move back to Tennessee. But so the three of them, they were part of it. And Naima took a little more convincing than I thought it would. He's like, well, maybe next year, maybe I'll come next year. I'm like, no, this year, please. Because I'll say it was really rough to before I started getting commits. There was so much publicity already about the team, and they had announced that they were going to compete in 23. And I thought, oh my gosh, I not only do I have to get a team together, but I need to get a competitive team together, and I need enough athletes to be able to put a squad out there in case of injuries. And it was a little to go there at some point in time throughout the season. But when Naima was like, well, maybe next year, I'm like, no, no, honey.
You're like, no.
Pretty hard after that. I was like, no, you need this year. If you know what, if you wait till next year, then you won't be a part of the first. You're not
right. Those older veterans go. The older they get, they act like they want a bigger contract.
I know. She's like, well, maybe I'll just do one more year here. And I'm like, well, if you do that, you won't be a part of history. I'm sorry.
I like that, Coach. I like that. That's
I didn't
right.
want to say quite like that, but it was more of like, well, there's only one first. You know what I mean? You can only have one first. So the first team is only going to happen one time. So either you're going to be part of that, or you're going to be part of, and don't get me wrong, the second crew that's coming in this year is going to help this team shore up. And, I'm excited about what this team is going to be bringing.
Oh yeah, that's and I want to send a big shout out. My guy's on air right now. I played golf with him. Brother Gary Curry, class of 1981, Fisk University, told me to tell you guys hello. Proud of you very much. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me jump in here real quick, because I was reading this article that I read in Essence. I'm a fan of one of the CW shows called All American. Have any of you seen All American?
Yeah, I love All
American.
CW.
Love that show.
Okay. And there's a spinoff of All American called All American Homecoming. And one of the things that I saw represented, I didn't realize that there were very few, if not any, TV shows, dramatic TV shows that highlighted women of color as athletes. And in All American Homecoming, which is at a fictitious HBCU based in Atlanta, I was thinking, wow. Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking, wow, this is really exciting. For the girls, for Jordan, Morgan, and Naima, what has been the thing that has stood out to you to say, I made a great decision in choosing Fisk?
I would say, like, after every competition that we went to this past season, there were always so many little Black girls who like came up to us and just wanted to take pictures with us, and just like, oh, I want to be like you, or they would wear their little like Fisk leotards or whatever. And I feel like it just shows us that like we're making a difference in the gymnastics world, and just like representing women of color in the sport, and also just like athletics as well.
Yes, I 100% agree with Morgan. She probably took the words like right out of my mouth, but literally. But I don't know. I feel like we still don't realize how big of an impact that we give to the little girls that look like us. So when we see that, it's like, oh my gosh, like that's amazing. And it like really like, I think it touches all of us in a different way, because it's done. We're the first to do it. And like, again, no one else can say they have that experience that we've had. And it's just like an honor to be able to inspire other girls to just keep going and keep doing it, and just let other Black girls know, like, there's a place for you if you, and we can keep up with all the other big PWI schools.
Naomi?
I don't even know what to say. I don't think I fully realized the impact until I went home this past summer. And when I go home, I go and I train at my club gym. And when I went back, there were so many girls that would come up to me and be like, I saw you on TV. I saw you guys do this. Really? Oh my God, what are your teammates like? Da, da, da. I want to go to school just like you. I want to go to Fisk. And It was very surreal for me because at one point I was them. I was that little black girl that never had. I didn't really have any other black girls growing up doing gymnastics. Watching them do gymnastics, it was always just me. So for them to see me is like a big inspiration for them. And I didn't realize that until I went home, and they were all over me, just wanting to look at me do gymnastics and saying how they want to be just like me. It was just something I never thought I would ever have.
And that's awesome. And the funny part about it is, Coach, so I'm there 2005, 2006 to 2013 on the basketball side of the house. And trust me, that gym is hot. I'm talking about 113, 14 degrees. I'm talking about no air conditioning in this gym. We got fans.
That type of hot. I thought you meant a different type of hot. Okay. All right.
I should tell my kids, and Coach, I don't know if you know, I ended up being and for you and Morgan and the guys, I ended up being the first coach with the women's basketball program since Coach Teresa Phillips in '89 to win the GCAC a couple of games, and turned out to be one of the best records that we had at Fisk. And matter of fact, I'm the coach that's graduated, and I don't think that'll ever be broken. I had an athlete and Corrine that graduated with 500 points and 1,000 rebounds in her career, while I was there in the 2012, 2013 season. So excited about that. And I'm so happy because I remember them talking about getting a gymnastics team way back in like 2016, 2015. And to see you do that, and to not only do it, like you just said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in the right way. I'm going to put us in the right light, and I'm going to take it to the right competition. So here's the big, big question. With Morgan and Jordan and Namaya, do you guys have Olympic dreams? And if so, what do you need to do to talk to the queen on the castle, which is Coach, to help you get those dreams?
I don't think any of us want to go to the Olympics.
Come on now. We gotta get you to get that big gold medal.
I haven't had that dream of going to the Olympics since I was like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've always thought about going to the Olympics when I was younger. It's just as you get older, gymnastics does become a little bit harder. So, but I feel like I'm the type of person that maybe not Olympics, maybe like national team if I stay healthy. I got knock on wood. Sorry, I'm very.
There you go. I like that.
I'm not sure about Olympics just because I know my health and my body, and I do have other aspirations outside of gymnastics that I want to work on. So I don't know about big time. I think Jordan Childs and all of them got that, but national team doesn't sound too bad. I still want to be a part of gymnastics after college.
What about you, Morgan? What about you, Morgan?
Now, you coming from a 5-star, Morgan, and possibly SEC. You was Coach's enemy, right? Because Coach, I know back in the day you was going down saying, "I want to destroy Arkansas."
Arkansas wasn't in existence back then. It was Alabama.
Somebody told me that, Coach, and I was going to ask you about that. They were like, it really wasn't in existence back then. So, and I want to bring that question up. But real quick, Morgan, with you now having that opportunity and that 5-star athlete, because trust me, you are rocking Nashville. Nashville, we love you here in Nashville. We support you big time, and you got a big following. I got people that when Coach, when they said Fisk is going to go perform here, go perform there, you guys sold tickets. You guys sold out a lot of tickets this year. So, Morgan, do you think that you got what it takes to get to probably a national team or / maybe an invite to try out for the Olympic team?
So I made it to nationals last year, and I did pretty good there. So I don't know, does that mean I'm on the national team or not for
All-American? He's an All-American.
Yeah.
Okay.
For gymnastics, Olympics is a totally different route, and it's kind of just like how you grow up in the sport. So now that we are in college gymnastics, most of the time, if you don't try to go to the Olympics before college, then you normally just kind of don't go that route. So unfortunately, no, I will not be trying for the Olympics, but I will forever love the sport of gymnastics and love doing college gymnastics. If I could do
That
gymnastics
is
for the rest of my life, I would.
that is all
Yes.
that is
All right,
that is
coach.
that's knowledge for people, man. I
I
didn't know
know.
that.
All
I
right.
didn't know that at all.
All right. Well, I asked the audience to go ahead and ask a question. I'm going to throw this question to Coach Tolliver as we're wrapping up. I see that the CEO coach had a question for you in the
Okay.
chat. I'm trying to bring it up right now. I don't know what is wrong with my tech. Here we go. Coach Tolliver, what's a good way to expand and promote gymnastics to inner city girls?
It's interesting you say that because we are currently working on building a gym on campus.
Oh,
And one of the things that I have said about that is that I want to bring gymnastics to the inner city, and especially to those communities that normally wouldn't be a part of it because it is pretty expensive. And so I have a really good friend. Her name is Wendy Hilliard, and she has what's called the Wendy Hilliard Foundation. And it's in New York City and Detroit. And almost every kid that walks through her door is either free or reduced tuition based upon income. And
Oh, wow.
she brings gymnastics to those kids who normally wouldn't be exposed to it. So that is like one of my goals when we build a gym, is to be able to have, whether it's a foundation or to have sponsorship or something that will allow us to bring gymnastics to inner city youth, whether it's doing clinics or having them be a part of classes or offering different, because most of these girls here, they also coach as well. Two of them went to camp coaching. So they enjoy working with younger kids, and it's a way of us giving back to the community as well as exposing. That is probably the easiest way I can see for us to do it. It's kind of hard for us right now because we basically rent space. So there's only so much we can kind of do. We're kind of limited on what we're capable of doing, and because we have to rent space, it kind of takes along those lines. So we're just kind of I think that's the best way to go about it. It's something that has kind of stuck with me, and when we get our gym built, I'm gonna bring my friend in and be like, okay, how do I do this?
I mean, and Val, what Coach is talking about is phenomenal. You're talking about a gymnastics team with these three young women, and we're talking about a small Black HBCU with very minimal space for them to practice and do the things that they did. So trust me, my hat goes off. And Morgan, Jordan, and Namaya, I need a picture because I will be over there catching you guys this year. And Coach, I'm gonna need my gymnastics shirt so I can get I can update this. Get on. And
I got them in my office. Not a problem. And this year we have 4 meets in the Nashville area this year.
Okay.
Last year was 2, this year's 4. Our first home meet is going to be a historic meet, actually. So we're going to make history again, because every single Black female head coach in the country is going to be on the floor at the same time for the first time ever. So it's kind of I'm not allowed to use Woman King because that's obviously trademark, but it's kind of that vibe of, all the Black female head coaches. So it's going to be 6 teams. It's going to be January 15th, so MLK Day.
Okay.
So, we're excited about it. I'm, looking for promotions. I'm going to be looking for sponsorship, things of that nature, because we really want to make it up into something massive because it is historical.
Sure.
We want to, pack the place that we have it. We want to sell, it'd be great if we could get 10,000 people to come to a meet in Nashville. There's something along these lines. That would be so amazing. But the teams are not they're like Iowa State and Rutgers and Brown and William and Mary, Talladega, and us. So we're talking Big 10, Big 12. So we're talking big time schools that are coming into Nashville to do this. And so, anyone in the audience that's looking to be some kind of a sponsor for the competition.
There you go. Hey, Coach, put it out. Now, where is that going? Is that going to be on campus, Coach, or that's going to be at Municipal Auditorium?
It is not on campus. We cannot compete on campus because
Right.
our gym is not long enough.
Sure. Oh, wow. Okay.
For vaulting. I can't really say where it's going to be yet because we haven't signed the contract.
Okay.
So as soon as we are able to, as soon as we have that nailed down, then we'll announce that. And again, we'll start promoting it and soon and really getting it out there and working on, we're also working on trying to get it on televised and things of that nature. So,
well, you and I are going to take a couple things behind the scenes because I'll be a big voice. I'm here. I love all three of the girls. And of course, I saw the new recruits and I got some things for you. I'll be a big community voice for you here in Nashville to help you do some things and definitely big support and all that. I'm just proud of the three of you guys. I'm proud of your entire team. I'm proud of the effort, coach, that you've come through these doors and be able to put it. And by the way, Val, I know coach is very nice, and Morgan and these guys didn't mention it, but Fisk has a brand new president as well that just got elected to the campus. So I'm sure she's very happy to see the changes in athletics that are going on. And so coach just continue to allow these young women to dream big and continue to do the things that you can do, and whatever Val and myself and this platform can help you do, we're going to continue to do that for you as well.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and we're actually getting a new AD athletic director as well.
So you're gonna not because that's the only question that Val and I didn't ask you tonight, because you look like the Jefferson. You wearing one hat on the left and one hat on the right. and I know
it was absolutely crazy, and it was just very, very difficult. Neither side got what they deserved as far as my time and effort.
Sure.
I had to, there were times when I missed a lot of practice because I had to do meetings or be a part of deal with things on the AD side, or when we were in season and I was traveling and all that, I wasn't around for the coaches when they needed stuff. So we kind of looked at that and said it'd be best if we separate the two positions so that, we're also looking to try to move to NCAA. So we need someone to spearhead that, and I can't spearhead that and spearhead the team. So
I think you're great. Well, Morgan, Jordan, and Namaya, let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you guys a high five. Give me that high five right there. I appreciate you.
Right here, all of us high fiving. And representation matters. So I want to say, continue to represent us. Wonderful Black girl magic is all up and through Interludes. And so Coach Corrine Tarver, thank you so very much for joining us. Jordan, Morgan, and Naima, thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. Hopefully we'll see you up there. We're going to be up in that area, the Midwest this year. So.
Well, I didn't tell you, Coach Tarver. I'm from Chicago too. I'm just in the Nashville, so don't get it twisted now.
Here we go.
Well, I'm still working on getting a competition, University of Illinois, maybe in 25.
Champaign, Urbana. I like that.
We haven't been able to do for 24, but maybe for 25. We'll look.
Val, I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears to the ground with these young women here in Nashville. I keep you posted, and Coach. And the three of you guys, as we have a second successful year, we want you back on the show again to kind of show us where we're at. And this time, I want y'all to be heading to the national team. Understand me?
Yes.
He's very excited about that. He's very excited. All right, ladies.
I might practice anytime.
Excellent.
Be in touch. Thank you, guys.
All right, bye. Good night. Oh, my goodness. So good. So good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Oh, man, that's excellent, Val. Again, hey, sir, give me a curveball. Home run, Val. Home run, Val.
Right. People are saying in the audience, your boy, great show from Christopher Robinson, and also from our former guest and audience member, Eric Harrison. He says, hey,
I ain't seen E in a minute. What's up, E?
I know. He said dope conversation, so that's exciting. And then, of course, Mark Lee said, glad to see great athletes from HBCUs. Come on.
They don't get it. What I really loved about tonight, Val, is that Morgan being a 5-star athlete. Of course, CBS obviously had an opportunity to interview her, talk to Coach Tarver during the time they were putting together. But we were the first, by the way. We can make sure you put that on. We were the first entering into the 23-24 season to give you the outlook on what her initial inaugural year was and what coach is looking to do with the program. So you don't get that unless you're tuned in to what, Val?
Interludes Extra. There you go. Interludes Extra talk on Tuesdays. Now, guys, I think we are probably a little over 65 people less. If we hit 500, my goodness, that's going to be phenomenal. So go ahead. If you've already subscribed, that's great. But now it's time to tell a friend.
If you listen to us tonight and you have not subscribed to this show, just simply hit the subscribe button. And that way you're going to get the alerts every week for Val the Voice. And you know me, Coach Tony, we're going to give it to you, baby.
This was good. Thank you so very much. I have to say congratulations to you, Coach, for always bringing some phenomenal guests. And in the coming weeks, we're going to have a former NBA player here. I just talked with him on the phone, and I'm excited. Terry Cummings.
Yeah,
so
boy.
So so I'm always excited for when we have great guests on Interludes Extra. And guys, I am excited. We are here wrapping up, and let me go ahead and do what we usually do, which is let you guys know Interludes Extra is brought to you by our affiliate sponsor. It is Legal Shield. If you need help with wills, trusts, or anything regarding that, and you have a small business and you'd like to make sure that you are protected with attorneys that know exactly what they're doing, go ahead and text 347-652-0243, the word legal, and we'll send you some great information about that. And then, of course, you can visit our website, linktr.ee/Pure Light Media. And we're still celebrating our 3 years being to Interludes. I'm always excited about that. And so we'll be back next week with another fantastic show. Coach,
hey, don't meet us there. Beat us there.
And I have to tell you, you know what? I'll talk to you after the show because I've been doing some after show DJing. I've been walking in the lane of being a DJ, and so it's been fun doing that.
We got to give these people, for those who listen to my ear, I'm a big time house music DJ, Chicago, and I just did a session this past week, Val. I dropped some old school Jimmy's, some old Farley and Ron Hardy, and some Jamie Principle, some stuff that some people may not know about. We got to have one of them nights when you and I go back deep in the crates, because some of these young people don't know about the crates, right? We got to go back deep in the crates and talk about house music and its inception. That's what we're going to have to do one night.
Exactly. Awesome show. This is the African Royal. I need some vitamins that Coach Tony is taking because you own something. That's right. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. And on behalf of myself and Coach Tony, we are back next week. Thank you for being here. Peace.